I was thinking we should discuss a little bit of economics in Mount and Blade Bannerlord Online. The massive online role-playing game mod version currently under development. Economics is a big part of this game, making a lot of gold, cash, dinners, dough, money. Yeah, that's kind of a big purpose of the game. Buying new items, being able to afford an expensive army. What else can you do for money? You can start a clan. You can invest in furniture in your clan hall. You can save up money for future economic buildings and settlement upgrades and stuff like that. I'm not quite sure what you're supposed to do with all your money, but let's dive into it, and I'll try to give you an overview of the economics, the trade and merchant and licensing system. So we are currently with our character in the capital of the empire, the starting town, Zeonica, which by far, at least on the EU server, has the most economic transactions, people passing by and talking in local chat and selling troops in the tavern, and the merchants in town have the most products. So let's say you played for a while and you killed a couple of looters. You have a bit of trash items from looters in your inventory, and you want to know what the hell am I supposed to do. So you go into town and you press Alt button, and you can see all the NPCs names pop up. And the NPC you want to you can also see Ulfric here, he's a player, so you can see players' names as well. The guy you want to look for in the beginning is the artisan. The artisan has quests, tasks, and he has 6 tasks per hour, and then they reset. And for example, now he wants a falcon and a wrapped headcloth, and for that he offers 392 gold. On this character I don't have a lot of stuff, so I can't turn him in, but you can repeat this every hour, 6 of these quests, and they go from around 300 to maybe up to, I don't know, even up to 2,000, well, maybe 1,500. So if you do and manage to clear 5-6 of those, it's a couple of thousand of gold that you can gain per hour. It takes a couple of seconds to do it, and if you're killing looters, you're definitely gonna get these items. Maybe the falcon is a bit rare, but most of the armor, most of the stuff is gonna be available in loads. So basically it's free money for you. So at least in the beginning I recommend you talk to the artisan. And the stuff he doesn't want to buy from tasks, you can sell to him under unwanted items. So right here, he buys about everything, all the armor, all the weapons, all the shields, all the bows, all the throwing weapons. He doesn't buy furniture, he doesn't buy colors, patterns for the banners of clans, etc. He doesn't buy horses or mules. So but all the stuff you can wear upon your body. He doesn't buy Patreon items, you can't sell those. You can sell for a pretty low price, but it adds up. So just go here and sell all your trash. That's what you do. So you've been doing this for a couple of hours now, and you feel like, maybe I want to make a little bit more money than what I actually been from selling to the artisan, because that is the basic money making procedure. Well, then you have the possibility of utilizing not only buying stuff from the weaponsmith, the armor master, the trader, and over here the owner of the stable, which has horses and saddles. There's, what is that? Is that 4 different traders? Yeah. If I go to the trader here, he's one of the merchants in town, and talk to him, I can look what products are on the market now. And you can see there's 116 different goods, and now we're not talking 116 items, we're talking 116 categories. That is a difference. So for example, ancient coins, one player has put 16 coins for 800 gold. Another player has put another. So these are 5 categories, but they're all ancient coins, but they count as 5 different categories. Out of 116, these are 5. So I wouldn't call it items, I would call it categories. So I can buy stuff here if I have the money. I can buy furniture from this guy, I can buy weapons and armor from the other 2 guys, and I can buy horses from the 4th guy. But when you're tired of spending money and want to make a little bit of money and sell stuff at these traders as well, what do you do then? Well, then you press Alt, and I really recommend you to do this in Zeonica, and that's the first place. If you want to do it in other towns, be my guest, but you definitely need to start here. And you talk to the Seneschal, and he offers you to buy or rent, actually, for a limited period of time, a license, a trading license. You can either renew it. Now it might be confusing, he's talking about 355 days, but since 1 day in-game is 1 hour in real life, this is actually 355 hours. And I think it transfers to 20 days. It might be 30 days, but I actually think you buy a license for 20 days. That's not game days, that's real life days. All right, so you want to buy a license. There are 3 levels. There's the base, there's the advanced, and the merchant license. And they cost different amounts of money, 10, 20, and 40,000 gold. And they offer 3, 5, and 10 different categories. Now, categories again is not amount of items. With the base, I could sell 20 items totally in 3 different categories. That's the limit. So what does that mean? That means I could sell 6 desert horses, 6 broadswords, and 8 long spears. So that's 3 different categories. It's not 3 different swords, it's just 6 broadswords. And it's 20 items of these 3 categories in total. And the amount of categories goes up from 3 to 5 to 10, and the amount of items goes from 20 to, I think, 100 and then 200. It does say before you pay how many, but since I already have a license, I can't say exactly the limits. But if you want to try out, pay 10,000 and put 3 different categories and the maximum of 20 items on the market with this base license. So let's examine in practice how that does work. Since I have a license to trade in Zeonica, it's only for Zeonica. It doesn't mean I can put up any items for sale at traders in any other town. Then I would have to pay licenses there as well. A question many people in the beginning might have, will I make back the money? And yes, I'd say you have to be a pretty bad trader not to sell 10, 20 or 40,000 money back, or 20 or 30 real life. If you play actively, if you sell a decent amount of items. So if you're only planning to sell one or just a few items, if you don't want to bother with this aspect of the game, you should not get a license. But if you like making a lot of money, this is a pretty good way of doing it. So this guy, what does he have in his inventory? He has a couple of shields and he has 21 ragged gambesons. So he has armor and shields. So he's like the armor salesman of my family of characters. So when I go up to the armor master, which is the guy who has most of my items for sale, the first thing I can do is take profit from the sold goods. So if any other player has entered into these merchants and bought stuff, I will get the profit, and I do not pay a percentage as a to the merchant. I already paid for the license. That means I don't pay any taxes in this town, which is great. So let's see, I gained 59,000. That's a very good haul. I don't know, I might have sold something a little bit expensive, an item of, because I'm not sure if I sold only a lot of not very expensive items. And you can usually pick up a couple of thousand per day just by selling trash items. Or you can sell just a few very expensive items. Obviously, people will buy cheap and sell expensive. They don't grind, they don't kill enemies, they don't get loot drops. They just go here and they play the auction house, they play the market. It's supply and demand, right? So let's see what I have. I want to remove items from the sale. Let me explain the license a little bit more. I have, as you can see here, with the largest license, I can have 10 categories. Remember? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means I could put up 2 more item categories here. You can't see what I have in my inventory here, but I like two more armor categories. And I'm well below a total of 200 items. So on this character I don't have to worry. But the limit is 10 of these category slots, and the limit is 200 of total number of items if you have the merchant, the most expensive license. So I hope that gives a good example of what is the limit. I know there's a lot of beginner questions about how it actually works with the limits. You might think that, well, it's not super clear when you read the information text on the Seneschal where you pay for it. So we will put up, okay, and now I only have 3 rough bear skins for sale, and 2, 3, okay. I'll remove the shields. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That means I can put 3. It's a bit crowded here now. How do you put up an item for sale? Well, then you have to check what products are on the market. And there's 296 different armor categories, goods categories. So show all goods. And we're going to sort them by name, alphabetically. And I have 21 ragged gambesons. And if I scroll down all the way to the rugged, there are none for sale. Well, that's good. I can also sort for price here. So ladies' shoes for 20 gold, that's the cheapest piece of armor. So let's see. When we come up here to around 500, you can buy a Legionary Reinforced Studded Harness. It's a pretty crappy shoulder armor. But what I want to check is we have some infantry gambesons around 1300, 1400, 1500. So I had to guesstimate, making a qualified guess, what will people be wanting to pay for these rugged gambesons. It's starter armor. It's not very good, but there isn't a lot of other armors in this same category around here. Also, these are used to sometimes used in the artisan quests. So if someone just logs in and want to make one quest, maybe he wants influence for the day, and he's desperate to get just a rugged gambeson so he can turn in a quest, he might buy one of these, even though if it's a little bit expensive. They are better than these armors here, so I'm gonna put them up for 1500 each. Okay, so how do I do? I pick up all the 21, I click, I drag, and I hold, and I put it over here. I could also press this arrow here, and then I put in the price, 1500, and I accept. And if I hover over done, I see that 21 times 1500, that equals 31,500. That's how much I would make if someone were to buy all these armors. Now, that would take many days, unless someone is stupid enough to just buy them all. I don't think that's gonna happen. So obviously, it's supply and demand. If you put up a very low price for something and it's a bargain, someone's gonna buy it quickly. If you put up a price that is unattractive, that's no one wants, no one's gonna buy it, and you're not gonna sell it, and you're not gonna make any money. So you have to find an average and know the market, know the item you're selling, know what people are willing to buy it. And I can tell you, a lot of players, they spend a lot of time going through all these expensive items here, trying to find bargains, buying them cheaply, and then reselling them for a higher price. That is probably the best way to make money in the game. Knowing the merchants, knowing their wares, knowing the stats, knowing the prices. What's the price now? What did it used to be a month ago? Where's the supply? Where's the demand gonna go in the future? And all that fancy stuff. But it is difficult. It is difficult. The developers throw in new stuff. Every month there's a new Patreon item set sold, which makes the economy fluctuate. They introduce new content. Maybe they open up a new part of the map. A clan that used to grind a lot in one part of the map, flooding the market with expensive items of one category, goes inactive, and that kind of item dries up. They increase in price. A lot of players come back after an update. There's a higher demand for items because more people are playing and prices go up, etc. It's a great market economy. It's hard to read, it's hard to predict. It's possible to make a lot of money, but I wouldn't call it easy. It's not a given to make a lot of money. You have to put effort, time, thought, and analytics, and maybe a bit of bookkeeping and keeping an Excel sheet open in the background to be successful if you're going to play the market. But it's all great fun. So there we go. We also are going to put up shields, and shields are sold at the weaponsmith. The weaponsmith has different categories. It has all its wares, it has melee weapons, it has shields and ranged. Well, he doesn't have any armor, horses, or miscellaneous items. He only has two categories, sorry. Shields and ranged, and melee weapons. So we're just gonna sort on shields and ranged. And if we sort it on price, I noticed that the first shield is around 2,000. And if you remember it, it's actually this character who's selling it. If you remember, if I wanted to remove, I could have removed these four. So I have the cheapest shields on the market right now. And the next shield is 2,800, which is kind of expensive. So I could actually raise the price of these shields because I'm quite a lot below the other prices. So I think we're gonna go ahead and do that actually. Back, remove items from sale. Yeah, here are the 4 shields for 2,000. So I'm gonna put up. We're gonna sell these riders kite shields. No, they're only tier 1, so we'll sell those for 2,000. So they're not as good. And then we're gonna sell the wicker shields, which are weapon tier 2. We're gonna sell them for 2,500. And let's hope a lot of new players start playing tonight and they buy it. And these round shields, which are also weapon tier 2, we're gonna sell for 2,500. And if okay, so now we have 3 items, and here are the totals if you hover over done. But what you can't do here, you cannot resort after value, name, or type, or something out here. If you change anything now, these sales will be borked and you have to redo it. All you can do now after putting in 3 items for sale is press done. So frequently press done, go out here, and then come back to show all goods, and the sales will have registered. And as we can see now, I have 10 categories of items on sale. So those spare shields I got there, I have to carry around and wait until I get a bit more of them. And now I'm just gonna wait until I have some profit from my soul goats, and I'll make some more money. So that's how the merchants work. Now, there is another NPC that we can examine who is called Warehouse Master. He only exists in culture capitals. What is a culture capital? Well, it's certain towns, like 1 town per culture, that has a Warehouse Master. And if you pay him 10,000 money, gold, you can rent a warehouse for 30 days for 10,000. Right, so that's 720 game days, which equals 30 real life days, and it only costs 10,000. It's very cheap, and I think how many slots you got? You get like 20 slots in your basic, but if you're in a clan, you get a lot of free slots that you can save up stuff here. So I'm just gonna put these shields in there. Well, I could. And you can also buy certain items that will improve temporarily your storage capacity if you want. Improve my existing warehouse. So if you had warehouse expansion coupon, warehouse expansion agreement, individual contract for a warehouse improvement, you could get a lot of more. You could get 15, 20, 45 items more. So you can have a huge storage in the town if you're a merchant of rank, which I am not. And those storage improvement size items you get from Patreon supporting the mods developers, i.e. giving real world money to them. Or you can buy it from the trader merchant second hand if there are any on sale. Let's examine the last merchant, the owner of the stable. He has horses and saddles. He has camels, Christmas camels, and he has some Patreon armor that has the unique symbol, so they're not lost after, they cannot be lost ever after losing a combat. And there's a lot of different horses and armors and stuff like that. They vary in price. Horses from the cheapest one is 4,000, and the most expensive one is 10 million, or actually 5 million. Well, so you see, prices for items in the game range from incredibly expensive to incredibly cheap, and unlike many other games, the cheap items aren't worthless. They are usable. You can run around with some fairly bad armor and it doesn't really matter. You can win all the AI NPC combats in the world. You can even win PvP fights if you're a good player, if you have good skills on your character, even if you have bad skills. So it's not a very item or cash or money heavy dependent game or mod in that way, which is great. Does it help? Yes, of course, sure. It influences, it supports, it improves your ability and chances to succeed. But it's not like, for example, say World of Warcraft, where a level 1 item of a bad color, gray, is that the worst color, compares to a level 60 or level 100 purple or gold color epic quality item. There's such an immense difference in the item quality there in most of these RPGs or MMOs that you find. Whereas in this game, item quality it influences, but it's not all important. Player skill and circumstances is more important, and that I would say is one of the biggest qualities of this game, actually. So let me think just a second. So buying troops, buying new fancy armor and horses and horse armor and shields and weapons and bows and whatnot, equipment, that's what you can do. You can invest in licenses, you can buy storage space, you can buy a clan hall in not only one but 2 different cities. You can buy wood, and you can buy oh yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna show you. For now, you can only do farming, which I have covered in the introductory video, so we're not going to go over that. But we are going to show a wood village by heading over here. It's going to take us a little bit. So the first player crafted crafting material that was introduced into the game, into the mod, was wood, as you can see by this symbol here over the village. And if you right click on the village name, you will pop into the encyclopedia entry for this specific village, Alsasos. You can read a little bit about it, but more than that, you can examine the unit prices. So if you want to buy wood in this town, you will have to approach the village elder, the village chief, and you will have to order up to 1,000 wood for a price. So one player has actually put up 12 wood and paid 151 gold. And if I chop wood in this village and I give it to the village chief, he's going to sell it to the player, and the player is going to pay me. So if I chop wood, I get 151 gold per stack of wood I turn in, and a bit later another player that has paid for this money can come and collect it. Whereas the players that have put 150, 149, 148 gold, they are not able to collect their order because it hasn't been fulfilled yet, because no player has chopped wood for that amount of gold they have paid for it. And under that we have, I don't know, a lot of gold for a lot of cheap wood. So it's a supply and demand of workforce, contrary to what players are willing and able to pay for wood chopping. So let's real quick go through how you chop wood. You go to the village elder. Do you have any work for me to do? And for tree felling I get 15. For transferring felled trees I get 150. Remember, 150, that transfers from what other players have already paid. Okay, current work, product price. We're just gonna do a very quick example so people know. And there is a horse here. I see these trees with white cross X's on them. Oh, there's a beginner player here, and he's chopping wood. And I could pick those wood piles up, but that would be kind of rude. So you pick an axe here, and he picks up the wood and he turns it out into this wood pile, and every time he gets paid 150 gold. So I chop and I get one, and I pick it up, and I made 150 gold. I chop again and I pick it up, and I made 300, and I pick up a third, and now we made 3 wood piles, each consisting of 150 gold payment from another player. And when I turn it in here into the warehouse, I have now made 495 gold. And for me to be paid, I think it's a must that you don't leave the village. I think you lose the current work if you do. At least you do with farming. But don't take my word for it. I haven't tried. But once you're done wood chopping, you go to the Alsasos headman, you talk to him, and about the work you gave me, I get 495 gold. Yes, thank you very much. All right. So let's say I am the player that has paid 150 gold per wood. I want to talk about the products of your village. Our village produces wood. What exactly are you interested in? What is this? I have an order here. Apparently I have ordered wood in this village. What is the status of my order? Well, I have gained 0 out of 500 wood from this village, because there are 16,500 other wood orders ahead of whatever price I offered. Let's say I wanted to pay 50 or 75 or 100 gold per wood. It doesn't matter. If it's below the highest amount offered by another player, which is 150 gold, I'm not gonna get any wood. So it's totally supply and demand. But let's say I gained a lot of wood now because I paid a lot of money, and I am overstacked. I'm at over capacity. I carry more than 249. I can't carry all this wood away from the village. I made a mistake. I collected so much wood that I can't carry it. Well, no problem. I can form a cargo for delivery, and I can put in at the most 250 wood into a package. You are supposed to be able to put in more, but it's currently bugged, so don't. Just put in 250 at the most into a package. After that, can I... Cargo creation, done. Oh, right. Well, I'm not going to do this. This is just an example. Let's say this is 250 wood that I ordered. Then I pick the town where I want it delivered to. Usually it's the town where you have the clan, your clan hall, or your clan's clan hall. Because if you deposit wood in that town, you can upgrade the clan hall, you can build a dungeon to keep prisoners after PvP, and you can, well, that's about it. That's all you can do with wood at the moment in the game. Upgrade the clan hall and build dungeons. But of course there will be more economic infrastructure and resources and products later on into the game's future. So you pick the town, then you pick how much will a player that delivers this package get, and you will have to pay 10% of this as a, I don't know, placement fee. And then there is another fee, which is how much you get. Okay, this is the deposit that the player gets back when he delivers the cargo. Then you put in the reward. How much is the delivering player going to get as a salary once he delivers and gets the fee returned? It's a little bit complicated, but you make a package, another player comes to the town, or you yourself goes to the town, picks up the package, pays a fee, a deposit fee, delivers the package in another town, you get the deposit fee returned to you, and you get a reward set by another player that has ordered the cargo caravan. So I hope that was a bit messy, but I hope it explains that you can have other players transport your wood packages for you. And we can also, do you have a cargo that should be delivered? So right now there are no other players in the world that are interested in having wood packages delivered, at least from this village that I know of. So that's how wood cut. And if you're a big new player, did you see how fast I was able to gain 500 gold? So this guy is up here. He's doing himself a little money on wood cutting, felling trees. And you also practice your one-handed axe skill and your athletics just a little bit from doing this work. So maybe he's out for getting enough money for a saddle for his horse. What's his name? No Tolerance. You can talk to him. Hello. No Tolerance. And I could have a conversation with him and ask him how the woodcutting business is going if I wanted to. There's no in-game voice chat, but you know, you can chat using old. And there is at least one woodcutting village for each culture. So if you wanna cut wood with the best price, you might have to examine all the different wood, or you can ask in global chat. So we have so far in the series gone over farming, which doesn't give a lot of money, woodcutting, which can be profitable, and now we've gone through trading. Is that it for economics? Yes, I believe so. That's it for this time. So hello, Whoopie, Scoopy, Poopy. Welcome to the stream. So I hope you learned something new, if you're or understood how, if you haven't played this mod before, how the economics work a little better than before. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.